J.K. Rowling has taken to Twitter, challenging police to arrest her. In a social media post criticising the laws, she insisted that legislation is wide open to abuse by activists who wish to silence those speaking out about the dangers of eliminating women and girls' single spaces.
Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most polarizing figures in the literary world, J.K. Rowling. Despite massive backlash from Hollywood, activists, and even some of her own fans, Rowling has remained a vocal critic of what she sees as the extremes of woke culture. And guess what? The numbers speak for themselves. Her book sales, through the roof. It seems like every attempt to cancel her has only fueled her resilience. But she's not alone. Joining her in this resistance is none other than comedian Ricky Gervais, who's been known to call out Hollywood's hypocrisy and double standards. So what is it about Rowling and Gervais that keeps them standing strong, even as the backlash intensifies? Today, we'll unpack their stories, the controversies, and how they're both proving that if you stand your ground, eventually, you might just win. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe for more takes on Hollywood, cultural controversies, and the celebs who are stirring the pot. Let's get started. J. Rowling's background. Let's rewind a bit and look at where it all started for J.K. Rowling. The author of the iconic Harry Potter series, Rowling went from being a single mom on welfare to one of the most successful writers in history. Harry Potter wasn't just a book series. It was a global phenomenon that defined a generation, sparking a massive franchise with movies, theme parks, and merchandise, not to mention the cultural legacy it left behind. Rowling became a household name, a beloved storyteller who created a magical universe that millions still cherish. But her story took an unexpected turn when she began speaking out on social and political issues. Specifically, she voiced her concerns over the impact of certain progressive policies on women's rights and children's health, which instantly ignited controversy. While some fans were shocked, Rowling didn't shy away from her views, even when it meant risking her popularity. Instead, she stood by her beliefs, which she felt were being sidelined in a rush to embrace what she saw as radical cultural changes. This boldness has made her both a hero and a target, depending on who you ask. But love her or hate her, Rowling's journey has highlighted the cost of speaking one's mind in today's hypersensitive world. The transgender controversy. Now, let's get into the heart of the controversy that's kept J.K. Rowling in the headlines for years: the transgender debate. It all started in 2020 when Rowling shared her thoughts on social media, questioning the language used in an article that referred to people who menstruate rather than simply women. That single tweet sparked a firestorm. Rowling's comments were quickly labeled as transphobic, and she faced an onslaught of backlash from LGBTQ+ activists, former fans, and even actors from the Harry Potter movies. Rowling didn't back down though. Instead, she defended her position, emphasizing that her concerns centered around the protection of women's rights, particularly the spaces and rights traditionally reserved for biological women. She argued that overlooking these could have unintended consequences for women's safety and autonomy. Her critics accused her of being out of touch, while her supporters praised her for standing up for what they saw as common-sense boundaries in gender discussions. What made things even more intense was Rowling's response. She not only doubled down but shared her personal experiences of domestic abuse and sexual assault, explaining how these issues shaped her views on women's spaces and safety. This personal approach made the debate even more polarized. To her, this wasn't just about making a statement online, it was a deeply personal issue about women's rights and freedoms. But as we'll see, this stance had a huge impact on her career and relationships within Hollywood. Critique of woke culture. Rowling's outspoken critique of woke culture didn't stop at the transgender debate. She began challenging what she saw as an increasingly intolerant, self-righteous movement that, ironically, demanded conformity under the guise of inclusivity. For Rowling, wokeness was becoming less about genuine social progress and more about suppressing open dialogue, enforcing one-sided narratives, and punishing anyone who dared to disagree. Take her criticism of Scotland's hate crime laws, for example. These laws aim to protect marginalized communities, including trans people, but Rowling argued they were dangerously close to criminalizing free speech. She warned that these policies overlooked the safety of biological women, leading to accusations that she was trying to silence trans voices. Yet Rowling felt that these laws were eroding hard-won women's rights and discouraging debate around crucial social issues. Another of her points: Rowling believed that woke culture was being driven by a small but vocal minority pushing an agenda that didn't necessarily reflect the broader public's values. This stance struck a chord with people who felt silenced by cancel culture. Her critiques echoed the frustrations of many who felt that free speech and differing opinions were under attack. Rowling saw it as an imbalance, an attempt to rewrite social norms by sidelining the concerns of one group in favor of another. In many ways, her fight with woke culture has come to symbolize a larger battle over free expression. And that wraps up the incredible journey of J.K. Rowling, a woman who went from beloved author to one of the most controversial figures in modern culture, yet continues to stand firm in her beliefs. Whether you support her or disagree, there's no denying that her story forces us to think about the boundaries of free speech, cancel culture, and the power of standing up for what you believe in. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications. We've got plenty more on the way covering today's most controversial figures and topics. Stay tuned, and as always, thanks for watching.